HHDG. Peace, HHDG. We are on another episode of HHDG Media podcast. Shout out to everyone, as always, that's supporting, sharing, liking, and tuning in to our interviews via our YouTube channel, as well as our Facebook group, HHDG. For those that are not familiar, you can also go back and check our previous interviews on our YouTube channel. And we also have our written interviews, as you can see on our bottom banner, our website, hhdgmedia.com, which also includes our merch, upcoming events, and also the latest music that's out there. Always a big shout out to our family, our company, HHDG Media Inc., that makes this possible. And that is our 5 owners, myself, Wiki, Rock Vader KB, T. Smith, Demare, and Skelly Top. For tonight, we have a dope returning guest who I always say provides the ill visual imagery through his linguistics every single time. And he definitely reps that gritty, the gritty life, the upbringing of his hometown, known as the War. And as always, anyone can talk about, the struggle, the grind, the highs, the lows, one person's story in a family that could be doing something completely positive, and then the same person right next to them could be on the opposite side of the spectrum of it. But it's all in how you provide that story. We have some dope storytellers in hip hop, and he's continuing that legacy with how he provides his music. And once again, the chemistry between him and his fellow HomeTeam member, Honor J. Jordan, once again dropped a dope project called Nostalgia, which dropped this month on October 3rd. We're definitely going to talk about that, as well as the fact that it's been 4 years since this heavy math joint right here dropped. I don't know if y'all can see that too well right there, but this was a banger right here between the two of them. And again, they're making a legacy with the work that they put together, and it's definitely appreciated, as well as all of the HomeTeam Empire. Let me get that correct. HomeTeam Empire that's been doing their thing throughout the years. And we'll get a glimpse of what the other members are up to as well. But for tonight, we're going to talk about Nostalgia. So if you're not familiar with him, you can definitely go back and check our previous interview with our upcoming guest, who is Killy. Shoot.
Thank you.
Peace.
You said that very beautifully, by the way. You know what I mean? You got me like, yeah, that's official tissue right there. You know what I mean? Very well done. Very well done.
I appreciate that, man. I said this before, most of that is off the top because I listen to your music, and not just listening to the music, but also knowing, where you come from.
Yeah.
So yeah. I gotta do an introduction right.
You definitely did that right there. I said to myself, wow, got me feeling very good on myself today. You know what I'm saying? So, thank you for that. I'm very humbled, from what you said. And that definitely means a lot because I do, I love hip hop and carry on tradition of the storytellers, the rhyme sayers of that nature. That is something that, I herald, you know what I mean? So to hear that, it's always humbling and, it feels good. So thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Absolutely. Definitely. Now, one thing I always like is, again, we're talking about the storytelling and the imagery through your lyrics, your songs, your
Yeah.
projects, but you always drop like ill clips on Twitter or X, as they say now.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
little stuff in between, the projects that you do.
Oh, of course, yeah, yeah.
They always come out dope. And I think
Thank you.
with your style and your delivery and your voice, the black and white is always, is perfect for it.
A lot of
You
people have,
come through.
that's a lot of people have said that. Thank you. I'm a minimalist, so like by nature. So the black and white joints, it's like boom. Cats started really feeling that. And plus that's just like more of my steez. You know what I mean? I think that tone set kind of, I consider myself like a noir rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always rainy. It's always in a back alley or something where the mischief is going on. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
So like, I'm like the black bogey, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's how I handle it right there. So definitely I like to create a certain atmosphere, but yeah, I'm glad you picked up on that. But yeah, a lot of people, that's why I kind of stuck with the black and white joints. It became like a signature, you know what I mean? From what I do. So yeah, definitely something that I keep an eye on, and definitely love to see us being, appreciated with value. You know what I mean? Thank you.
Definitely. Now, to be more specific of the war, tell us about Maine South.
Maine South is just a little neighborhood where I grew up at, where me and my friends congregated. But Maine South was a part of the city in Worcester that if you're not from Maine South, they would tell you like, don't go down Maine South. There's a lot of you just don't go that way. Maine South starts from downtown and it stretches all the way through. I lived off Maine South, kind of like in the middle area, off a street called Murray Ave, kind of like in the middle, like upper part. But it was wild. Of course, as a youth, I didn't know it was that wild. I thought the whole city was like that. I mean, the city got crazy parts like GBV, Plumville, Hooper. There's so many areas in Worcester that don't get noticed that should just be real. But Maine South was one of those places where, as I got older, I started realizing like this is crazy out here. Like just the stuff I seen, the stuff I was around. I thought it was commonplace at first.
Yeah.
But then you start realizing like, nah, you know what I mean? Like it's not supposed to be like this. Like I can get a pack of Cheetos from the corner store, right? The orange bag joints, and right there, there's a night walker doing her thing. You know what I'm saying? And when I say night walker, she's walking the blade. If you know what I'm saying?
Right, right, yeah.
It's like around 6:35 in the afternoon. You know what I mean? So you get used to that kind of vibe and shit like that. And also, it was just a wild place to be. Of course, a lot of drugs infested the area and shit like that. So, it was wild, but also one of the best places to live for me as a youth because that's where all my friends were. That's where I learned everything. That's where I seen everything. That's why I did everything. Yeah. And there wasn't a lot of, in Maine South, we will always look to like New York and shit and be like, wow, yeah. But there was never nothing like, just talking about where we're from, my friends, my OGs, and, the older guys from where I'm from. And they meant a lot to me and to my people. So I figured, you know what? I got to honor them somehow,
Gotcha. And, just you saying Nightwalker, every almost, certain artists and how they come up have a certain lingo. What region or state you come from, you have a certain lingo.
Yeah.
When you say certain things like that, it brings me back to growing up on Staten Island. And, when you listen to Ray and Ghost, they have their own lingo different from the rest of the Who members.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, and you listen to your music, you have certain wording, you have certain lingo.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'm from Maine South, so like in Worcester, like we talk a little different. Like a lot of people, if they're not from if you're not from the East Coast, it kind of blends together a bit. But me being from Worcester, I still have the accent. I say words like spot, pot, you know what I mean? So like I can't change that. You know what I'm saying? Some of the lingo too is I would say like a mix because Worcester's a funny place because a lot of people come from the city. My family is from the city. You know what I'm saying? So like my mom's is from the Bronx. So like, you know what I mean? When you come to Worcester and that blends together, you know what I'm saying? It's just it's kind of crazy, you know what I mean? So it's funny you said that with Ray and Ghost because those are dudes that, as a kid, I'm listening to those cats. Those are older guys right there, you know what I'm saying? And we definitely do got a vibe, within Home Team, it's like, I have my own little chamber, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we all blend with that. But yeah, I definitely got, a little type lingo, You picked that up, you know what I'm saying? You understand that, you know what I'm saying? A little funny stuff with that right there, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Once again, and that comes with listening to the music.
Yeah, good ear.
I mean, people gonna actually, like you said, have that ear.
Mm-hmm.
So
most definitely. And you got the ear. I mean, you can be on the interviews and stuff. Like I know, that you be really listening. My music is for a certain it's for everybody, of course, but certain cats just pick up on it a lot more. You know what I mean? Just people that just really jump with it. And I can tell who those are, and that's I gotta respect them, and that's why I do it for them. Cats like yourself, of course.
Yeah, because I listen. I try to get every chance I can to do about 3 or 4 things in the day. That's listen to music, listen to other interviews, listen to lectures.
Yes.
And then, just any type of something new to learn, any type of lessons, just knowledge,
Definitely.
So.
And that's the thing too with knowledge. Like knowledge is something that should be obtained any chance you get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's something that builds you. You know what I'm saying? That builds the fiber within yourself. Your mental aspect and your physical aspect. That knowledge, you will know the ledge. You know what I mean? It's just supreme teaching right there. So knowledge to me is very vital. Anytime I hear that, I sit up in my chair a little bit like, yeah. Definitely, brother. Definitely. I understand that. I'm 100% with that. In any form of the aspect, to have your mind constantly, going through that spine.
Yeah.
It's something essential, I believe in as well. You know what I mean?
Being intrigued and challenged at the same time.
Yes. Yeah. That's to me. That's what being for me being an MC. That's what that challenge is for me. So that constantly pushes me, through studying and things of that nature to constantly want to improve or constantly push myself to the outer limits. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Now, the chemistry between you and Anaje is, it's impeccable. What the two of you just manifest what y'all do on songs and projects. How often, have y'all seen each other in person throughout the years?
Haven't met. We're supposed to meet very soon. We're supposed to meet, I think, when COVID hit, it kind of just messed up a lot of things.
Yeah.
Traveling. We definitely are gonna link, but the thing about OJ to me is like that's my brother. You know what I mean? Like we kindred spirits. You know what I'm saying? Like he knows how much I value him and his insight, and he's a true sound architect. You know what I'm saying? Like
yes, indeed.
He knows. Like he's one of them. That good brother. Let me just tell you, he's a genius. He truly is a genius. Just like all the producers at Home Team, Prophecy, Chucky. Me and OJ just clicked on a level. I think it was because our backgrounds. My father, was a Muslim. I grew up in a Muslim household. I became, a 5%er. You know what I mean? From hand in the streets and shit like that. But me and OJ have a very strong bond and understanding. He's the type of cat that could just hit me up and say, "I need you with a 16 for this." I'm gonna give it to him whatever he needs. Sometimes he'll give me beats and he has ideas, and I trust him. I don't question him. I just do it. And that's the relationship we kind of have. Where over the years, I trust him enough where I may not hear something at first that he may hear, that he has a vision for, and I'm gonna walk that path for my brother. And usually it comes out right, or vice versa. If I may have something that I'm thinking like, "Yo, God, peep, I'm about to, freak it this way around here," he'd be like, "Okay, God, I see you, I see you," and then boom, I'll freak it my way, and then just come together. But I think anytime when the guys connect, it's divine. It's always divine. You know what I mean?
That's what's up. Yep. Yeah.
And plus, he let me be me. You know what I mean? He let me get my shit off. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I get on that typical main South shit. I get my shit popping, and he let me get it off. So like, he give me that freedom. I can never thank him enough. Like we have created some beautiful things together. And you had a CD up before that, Heavy Math. I feel like every project we worked on, there's been turmoil a little bit behind the scenes, but then when it all comes together, it's a beautiful thing. When I mean turmoil, it's still between us. It's more of just like, I think like just trying to map everything together at the highest level sometimes, you know what I mean? And put forward the best project we can do. And it always works out very well. And plus, there's a lot of trust. Trust, I think, is definitely something to consider. And he's not just my producer. He's not just my friend. He's my brother,
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And I believe it was Knowledge Born was the next project that y'all did after Heavy Math.
Yes. That was the direct sequel to Heavy Math. Knowledge Born, that really just that got us a lot of critical acclaim, that really got people. Heavy Math, I feel like Knowledge Born was the album that kind of, if you wasn't listening, then you started listening from there probably. If you were listening during Heavy Math, then this is a beautiful, continuation of what that was at that point. And both of those albums I hold very dear because I put everything I had into that. We want to talk about storytelling, street life, knowledge. A lot of that goes into that album, a lot of that. And both of those albums. And that's all, through OJ's divine sign, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. What was the track? Old Fashioned.
Oh, Old Fashioned. Yeah. That it's funny because you have people that will pick up certain tracks. Certain tracks are extremely popular for a certain demographic, younger folks. And Old Fashioned, like I call that's the OG stuff right there. That's what the OGs. When I go to the package store or something, that's what they want to hear. Old Fashioned stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely happy. Or like blaxploitation and stuff like that. They want to hear like stuff like that. A lot of my references are a little bit older sometimes, so I know it can like frazzle the youngsters, but it's okay. Bear with me. It's all good, B. You know what I mean?
Indeed. So, being that we here to talk about Nostalgia, which dropped earlier this month.
Definitely.
If y'all heard the album and you look in Killy Shoe's background, you already know what posters you got back there.
Yeah. Exactly. Nostalgia is. I look at Nostalgia as a companion piece. If you're a fan of what me and OJ do, this is definitely a piece that you would want to have because it's an EP. It's short to the point, but I feel like every track is a classic display of what me and OJ have done over the years. So when you hear tracks like whether it's Triple Darkness, Bass, Trepidation, those are just like the same style we already had set up. Now we just push it a little further. So before our next album does drop in a certain amount of time, I'm not gonna say yet, this will hold you over. But I also feel like Nostalgia is something that someone wanted to do for a while. You know what I mean? Even the cover, that's a place I used to hang out in Worcester. You know what I mean, with my friends. So like, this is something I wanted to do. There were certain tracks on there I definitely wanted to get out, and yeah. It's jewelry. You know what I mean? It's nice little jewelry right there.
Definitely. When did before I ask, when did you start working on it?
Probably, like shortly after Born a little bit. I mean, we're always tinkering with stuff, me and OJ. You know what I'm saying? So like, I had an idea. I think it was during the time probably when I was working on bass, and then we had some other joints, and then he threw me some joints. I think when I knew I wanted to do the album, we'll make the EP at least, because me and OJ, we don't have an EP. We have full-length albums. I said, I want to do a few EPs with you, just like, just to build our catalog, you know what I mean, with some joints right here, some full body joints, and then, some other joints right here on the side too. So I think that Nostalgia was something I wanted to get up. I worked on it for about, about a year back. I started, then stopped, had some other projects, then came back to it. And I think by the time I had Beyond the Looking Glass is when I knew, like, yeah, let's roll this up because the response to some of the stuff I was just little clips I was putting out.
Yeah.
I would get the DMs like, all right, where's it at? Where's it at? People who fuck with me, you know, they really they want it. So I know, like, for my people, my family, my fan base, I know when they're ready for it. So I knew, like, all right, let me get this together and put it in a package. And sometimes they don't want the single, they want the package. They want to have, like, yo, give me that package. You know what I mean? Give me that joint with some other joints, you know, chef that together. Let me get a cover, and can I get that on CD? So I want to make sure to do that for my peoples and make sure that they can have that also tangible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking on that, shout out to DITCD, because they have now, what's that?
Yeah.
Now 3 of your projects.
Yeah. They get, you know, first dip on the projects. They've been, you know, great. They've been great. They, you know, that's family over there. You know, anytime the physicals come out on CDs, we go to there first. They always come through. So it's really dope how much support they have, and I got a lot of respect for them cats. You know what I mean? They don't play, and you know, when someone really respects your music and what you're doing, you know what I mean? Because I'm gonna be real. I'm like one of them artists that is very, you know, I'm a true artiste. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So a lot of times I'm very, you know, when it comes to my art, I'm very protective of it in certain ways, you know. But they do a great job putting it all together and making that a tangible form and working with the team. You know what I mean? So always love to them. Always love to them all day.
For those tuning in, I put the link in the comments, and you could also see it on our bottom of this interview right now. Let's give the people, once again, you know, you always got the ill visual. So let's start out with the first visual, bass.
All right, bass. Bass was I believe that was me going through the Jecks. Just going through I was going through that's the Jecks, that's a place called GBV, Great Brook. It's the largest housing project in Worcester. Was able to go through there with my brother Toka, shot some stuff. You know what I mean? City always shows us love, you know what I mean? To be able to just go through and do what we want to do and, you know, shoot it up. Yeah, you know, my music is just all street shit. I don't really dabble in the fanciness, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta catch me out, you know, right there on the steps. You're gonna catch me over there. You know, if you're from Worcester, you know how important that is. Oh, but if you talk about this joint right here, Lean on Me, the other visual, oh yeah, that's Lean on Me right there. You know what I mean? That's a classic movie, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's Batman joint right there. You know, they used to call him Joe, not call him Batman. So the Lean on Me joint, if you haven't seen it, it's the first beginning of the movie Lean on Me, chopped up to bass. And it just goes well beautifully. I always have a movie with my music because I'm a cinema buff. You know what I'm saying? Like I love movies, especially, you know, classics. So I always like to mix it in. So when you see a movie, it's not random. That's something from my collection that I truly enjoy. You know what I mean?
Ah, okay. Got you.
Oh yeah, that's yeah. Oh man.
They came back for the bass, but instead they got the hammer to the face. Cold case in the freezer, hot like Ebenezer. Everywhere you wanna be, nigga visa. Eat the fish skill, welcome to the life. This is it. Bitches shaking naked, sucking on a pipe. Which night did the shooter stop? Yo, they hit Maurice. Goddamn. Last dragon shit, bullet in his teeth. Chandler Street, with my nigga Toke, 1996. Old English, sipping in the bricks, talk shit, catch a buck fifth right across the cheekbone. I heard the plot, Lex had him on the speakerphone. I keep the heater home for ops and the cops. To the east, do a lot. On the rug is the Glock, yeah. Yo, it's all about the principle. Money and a tech, now a nigga feel invincible. I am the pinnacle, highest echelon, and I'm all about the gun. G1, Megatron, yeah. Shorty rockin' Benetton, home team empire, built upon a heptagon, yo. They came back for the bass, but instead they got the hammer to the face. They came back for the bass, but instead they got the hammer to the face. They came back for the bass. They came back for the bass. They came back for the bass.
Yeah. Yeah, that's official. Yeah, that was. I mean, it's Lean on Me. Yeah, Chuck in the background, bass. You know what I mean? It's like, it's hip hop. You know what I mean? How can you not love hip hop? You know what I mean? Come on, man. And you got a good eye too. You got a good eye for that. That was that little joint right there with the cut up scene from Lean on Me right there. Yeah, I mean, if you've seen the movie or you grew up in the era or even a little bit after the era, you're gonna understand exactly. You know what I mean? My style is always frantic. A lot of stuff's going on, you know what I mean? It's very aggressive. You know what I'm saying?
Now, being that you said these clips are, from your collection.
Yeah.
When you create your songs,
yeah.
do you start to have some of those films already in your mind?
Sometimes yeah, and sometimes no. Sometimes it just happens like that way. So usually, if I'm thinking of something, if I'm making a song, it's kind of within itself, and then I start the listening process, or I start thinking, and the mind's like an encyclopedia with movies. You know what I'm saying? So I could just run through mad joints. You know what I'm saying? I could look at like, okay, boom, this probably go with Lean on Me, and then some of them are just personal favorites that I want to just match with it somehow, and I have to really think about how can I really flip this, because a lot of times you can just take a clip and lay with the music. What I actually do, it may seem like that happens, but there's a lot of time that goes into that to think about the scene that I want to portray and how that scene matches with this. You know what I mean? So you usually try to find like a good vibe between the cinema and the music and put it together. And the type of music I make, I feel like it's kind of easy to blend certain things with it. So I kind of have movies kind of in mind, but not all the time. Not all the time. It usually starts from here, then it gets out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's good, I mean, being a film buff, there's always a certain film or scene that's relative to your life.
Yeah, exactly. You can find yourself sometimes in so many things. That's why, for me, like, it's little ways to get it across. Like, I love noise, like Chinatown, Maltese Falcon. I say that in a rhyme, you know what I mean? It's not going to be, it may just go over a lot of cats' heads like, yo, but that stuff me and my father used to watch, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hold those memories. I cherish that, you know what I mean? From everything he put me on to. So when he used to watch Bogey, he's watching Casablanca and stuff like that, or he's watching Maltese joint, those John Huston directed joints, you know what I mean? He put me onto that. So, like, he gave me that vision to kind of see and watch movies from a different angle. So it's kind of my way of connecting with the OG, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's like my mom used to watch black and white murder mysteries because my grandfather was watching them when she was younger.
Yeah. See how it just like trickles down, you know? And I can't front those murder mysteries are dope. Agatha Christie joints, I mess with that too, right? The God see it all, B. The God see it all.
Yep. And it's crazy. My aunt and uncle from my father's side, they lived up in the Bronx when I was younger.
Okay.
They had an encyclopedia of VHS tapes. Like you see, I have vinyl in the back. When I go in their house, they had VHS tapes of movies, and they had binders of binders, everything listed, cataloged, everything.
Oh, word like that? Yeah, I like that. That's how my father was. I used to sit there for hours in the vinyls too. So I just sit there with tapes, you know what I mean? Just go through that joint, just everything. Like, I probably, this is, the era before, streaming. So, like, we were kind of like, we watched stuff back then. We really watched stuff. We didn't have phones in our hand. We just watched stuff.
Yep.
And really focused on that.
And that's it, yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you kind of absorb cinema that way, I think it's way more tangible and it's way more, I say beneficial, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because you get to absorb it. I feel like now a lot of people, it's hard to absorb cinema, you know what I mean? When you got a lot of distractions around you. That's why, going to a theater or something like that is probably still the best option. But
Oh yeah,
I definitely understand that, especially with your family had with the tapes. My pops had that same thing, man. That's an old staple right there. Definitely.
Yeah.
This is why I like talking to you, man, because we just be vibing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
True that.
brothers chilling. You know what I mean? I love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that you brought up the fact of just back then, and even now with movie theaters, once you play it, that's it.
Yeah.
So you absorb it more, because with a lot of the streaming and everything, you already got in the back of your mind. You could pause it, you could rewind it,
That's the thing.
as much as you want.
I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like the fact that we have too much control. Like, I remember back in the day, even video cassette you have control over too. But I miss sometimes this basic cable where like TV would show me what's popping sometimes, and then I may run to the video store. Like, I remember when I first seen the clip. I think I seen Last Dragon on TV first, and I seen Vanity in that joint. Brother looked at each other. I said, "That's Vanity." He's like, "That's Vanity." So I ran to the store. Boom, boom, real quick. Got me some yellow bag M&Ms. Got me a grape soda. I went to Main Street Video. I'll never forget. I said, "Yo." They had a poster for another movie called Another Girl in the IIT, which is another classic joint. And I was like, nah, I'm looking for that Last Dragon because, it got Vanity in there. And they were trying to push me that the Prince joint with Apollonia. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I mean, beautiful movie too. But I was trying to find that Last Dragon with Vanity.
Yep.
That was just something I was into at the time. You know what I mean? But much respect to Prince. I still, Purple Rain is my joint too. But yeah, no disrespect to Apollonia or nothing. They all good peoples, you know what I'm saying? Yep. But Last Dragon was my joint right there, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. And to continue on that, the other thing now with the streaming is they really like to overload you with things. You can't even as soon as the credits pop up now, they're already suggesting another movie.
You know what I'm saying? They got 3 boxes at the bottom right there.
Let me enjoy the one movie I'm watching.
Yeah. Let me just ride this out. Let me see the credits fade out. You know what I mean? Show me that logo. Let me just ponder for a second.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't even let you ponder. You got 3 movies and it's a countdown. It's like the doomsday clock. 10 seconds, another movie in that genre is coming through. So, I'm passionate about that. Don't get me going right now with that joint, because when it comes to that right there, I be getting a little antsy, especially when it comes to, like, if you're watching a show. You know what I mean? Pause. You're watching a show, right? And the next episode is going to tell you pretty much in that description what happened. I don't need to see all that. When I was watching Knight Rider, you know what I mean? If Michael had an evil version of himself, I got to wait till next week. If I'm watching the A-Team, if BS doesn't want to go on the plane, I got to wait till next week. You know what I'm saying? I got to see how they're going to get him on that plane. You know what I'm saying? I got to stay tuned and wait for that. So, of course, things now are a little different, but, that's just the old man rant, Just a little bit to get off my chest, you know what I'm saying? But I definitely understand, it's a sign of the times, my good brother. Sign of the times.
And that's still part of absorbing, everything that you watch. They giving you time, those 7 days to absorb and enjoy and get those memories again of what you just saw. Because I remember when X-Files was airing, it used to air on Sundays. So when I was going to school on Monday, that's what we was talking about until next Sunday came.
I used to watch the X-Files heavy too. X-Files is my joint. I think the last season I kind of fell out of it, but yeah, man. Same thing with It's funny. Speaking of, that's how it used to be. You watch, like, I think it was Thursday was the block from Martin, New York Undercover, the single. So the next day we at school talking about what they were rocking on New York Undercover. Yo, you see that in the Hilfiger jacket he had? Oh man, it was crazy. You know what I mean? So I definitely missed that. Now, everything's in a second. You know what I'm saying? You can just stream it, beam it, boom, it's done. You know what I'm saying? So it does take some of that out of it, but you kind of adjust with the times, I guess, to a certain extent. It is what it is.
Definitely do. At the same time, still got to keep it old school. Have some physicals, a book, magazine.
Of course, yeah, man. That's why the album's called nostalgia. It's like I feel like I'm a relic of a bygone era. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they put me in that, cryo joint. I just woke up, but I should be in 95. I'm making albums at that time. And I feel like, it's hard to explain. Like, there's a love for hip hop now that is beautiful. The underground is booming. You know what I mean? It's beautiful, but I feel like there's actually just a lot out there now. Back in the day, it wasn't like so much. Now there's so much for people to consume, and I feel like the music I make is for a certain type of not demographic, but it's like kind of like a niche kind of thing. But I can't lie, I've been very fortunate, inshallah, that has just steady been growing. You know what I mean? I never really thought like it would be like this. I thought it'd be for like a couple of cats and that's it. You know what I mean? Maybe when I go, get something to drink, or I hit the block every now and then, it'd be something like, all right, cool, boom, boom. This is what I did, but turned out a lot different, my brother. Turned out a lot different.
I feel you. Yep.
A lot. But that's a good thing, though. That's a good thing.
Yep, definitely. Now, being that you were saying this is the first time the two of you have done EP, and you want to do more in this fashion, is it going to be? Are you consider it to be a series where there's some continuity with them, each one?
I feel like with the EPs, I mean, the continuity is me and him. You know what I mean? What I mean by that, and I don't mean to be that in the braggadocious way or anything like that, but I mean as in like, I feel like when you listen to my music, especially with OJ, the good thing is what it's going to be to a certain extent. Not know what it is, but you get to, like, when I listen to Mobb Deep, I know what it is. If I listen to Redman, I know what it is. And I feel like me and OJ, if I listen to Pete Rock and CL Smooth, the classic joints, I know what it is. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's what me and Najee try to create. And I feel like the EPs, tell you the truth, give me a little room for freedom. I feel like when I'm doing the big projects, that's when teaching, knowledge, everything has to hit a certain level. On the EPs, I got more freedom to kind of like, stretch out a little bit, stretch my legs and, play around linguistically and try different patterns or something like that. Or like, just do something a little different, still in the same vein, but just kind of like I can push a little further. So the EPs to me are something more of something where I kind of stretch my legs a little bit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Get some beats on there that may not be on the album. Because with the album, you're going to have a lot of different joints, a lot of different feelings. Well, at least for me, I like to create different feelings. EP, I can just smash you in the head with a brick and call it a day. You know what I mean? Simple as that. I mean, if I could just get right to it, keep it very raw. You know what I mean? For me, nostalgia was something like I wanted to do for like, definitely for Main South, but more so for the cats that really fuck with me and OJ shit, but also for those cats that I looked up to in Main South, the things that I want to be down with. You know what I mean? So like, I think that it's doing very well. It was very cool to do, and I love the reception from it. And plus, it's just it's straight raw, right? It's just straight raw. You know what I mean? Pause.
Yeah. Now, out of your film collection, or should I say your memory banks, what's one of those films that always stands out to you?
That always stands out to me? There's a few. I would say top 3 will probably be Dead Presidents. Dead Presidents is a big one. It's from 1995, the 90s. Loretta's Tate, the whole Vietnam War, just the circumstance. Like I think because kind of relate a lot to like when my father used to tell me about things, you know what I mean, especially in his life. So I can understand, why they had to do certain things. So the movie's very deep to me. Another movie is probably that I would say is something I really like is probably I would say 2001 Space Odyssey.
Oh, okay.
That joint is is crazy to me because you know the first like 20 half hour of that joint, there's no talking.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And
that was unheard of.
yeah, you know what I mean? Just no talking. You just watching these monkeys band against the monolith, and you know this monolith comes out of nowhere. You know, I'm into sci-fi a lot too. You know, I like to, you know, have my brain working and shit like that. So 2001 Space Odyssey is definitely on the list. Dead Presidents. I would say probably another movie that really an art piece that means a lot to me probably would be a film by John Woo called A Better Tomorrow.
Oh,
From probably like
I
80s
remember that.
Yakuza joint. You know, I love the Yakuza. You know what I mean? I play those games all the time. My son, he loves the Yakuza. Play on the PlayStation, on the Xbox. So back then I used to love anime, Hong Kong, you know, gun fu films and stuff like that. And A Better Tomorrow always stuck with me, always did. So those three movies have a lot of stuff in there that really, really stuck with me. You know what I mean? Dead Presidents, 2001 Space Odyssey, and A Better Tomorrow.
Mm.
The themes in that movie, Better Tomorrow about brotherhood and, you know, one brother's a cop, one's a Yakuza. And just that whole dynamic, you know, trying to navigate that. Yeah, I thought that was really dope. Yeah.
I'm gonna recommend a new martial arts film where it shows, you know, how brotherhood, you know, came to be, and they were, well, one of them was a stranger to the rest, but it definitely displays a brotherhood. And I'm trying to remember.
So now you got me intrigued. What film is it? Old school film or new school?
No, it's new. It came out this year. It has
really?
It has Sammo Hung in it. What's the other guy's name?
Oh, what?
Yeah, it's new. I watched it it came out in August, and I've already watched it about 4 times already.
Oh yeah, you gotta give me.
I'm definitely when we're done.
You got me intrigued now, brother. Look, it sounds nice. Once you remember that, you know, send me that immediately. You know how we communicate anyway. So interview or not, send that to me. I want to definitely we communicate about that. I know you with movies now. Now you're gonna be hearing me talk a lot more, brother. Be prepared.
All right.
Most deaf.
Yeah, because the movie is based on a city in Kowloon, which was called the Walled City.
Yo, I already know the Wall City that they closed down. Yo.
Yep.
People living in there, yo. It was crazy. All the stuff happening in there. Yo, I watched so many documentaries about that. Man, whew. Yeah, you gotta put me on. You gotta give me the name of that, because within that Walled City, the amount of drugs, the amount of crime, the amount of the fact that people, their medical was all up in there, like everything was within that. And the way it connected sometimes, like through this house, through this, like it was crazy, man. Truly a work of art. Truly a work of art. Yeah, you gotta give me that name. Yeah, Samuel Hunts in there too.
I'll definitely, I'll link you. Yep, definitely. Yeah,
I gotta peep that joint, real talk. Yeah.
Now with the EP, with the poster to your left, Juice. Tell us that inspiration.
So I think it was Saturday night. Juice is so inspirational, you know what I mean? Because the movie is, you know, they got movies like, you know, for a young black kid growing up in the hood, you know, there were certain movies before it got too out of control. There were certain movies that we really stood by, like how, you know, other races would have like Stand By Me. You know what I mean? And they can grow up and, you know, they can follow that through the music and everything. Juice, to me, because we have a lot of West Coast movies like, you know, Boys in the Hood, which I love. Boys in the Hood it's like the Black Stand By Me. I mean, it's brilliant. I love Boys in the Hood. But Juice was just so, I mean, it was crazy because here I am. This is an East Coast life. I'm hearing all this East Coast music, you know what I mean? Like, you know, Eric B. Rakim, EPMD, Redman. And the way their life was, they were street niggas, but not street niggas, but street niggas. And I love that dynamic because that was me at the early point, like at about, you know, 13, 14. Like I was playing video games in the arcade. Yeah, I was in the streets and doing stuff, but I was like more like them. You know what I mean? Like I could rap, you know, my friends could rap. We were trying to find ways out, you know. They're trying to make $1 out of 15 cents, playing pool. The only thing I didn't agree with was jumping rooftops to escape school. I couldn't do that. You know what I mean? Like if the truancy officer gonna catch me, take me back to school. You know what I mean? I'll go learn about George Washington and you know what I mean with his wood teeth and all that. I'm not trying to jump over rooftops and commit suicide. You know what I mean? Like I'm good with that. But beyond that, Juice meant a lot to me because as a kid, I just wanted to see him hang out and build. As I got older, Raheem's death became something of the pivotal point. You watch how Juice, how Power, how just trying to get a rep, just like Gangsta said, just to get a rep. How far it went. Bishop was already unhinged, and that murder pushed him beyond the limits. And then the crew broke up, and all this, the whole dynamic of Hunter and Prey, and Q now being, Bishop coming after Q and coming after Steel and thinking he's the man. But the thing about Juice that I like so much was that it was real. I know many brothers who are like Bishop. Many brothers that like Raheem. But Raheem died, you know what I mean? I had to turn my head, you know what I mean? That was a big thing for me. Because I had a crew like that. Me and my friends were tight. So when you see one of them like, yo, he made a move, and you shoot your man, it was just a big movie for me that really stuck with me for a long time. To this day, it always stays with me. Juice is a phenomenal movie. Always will be. I mean, come on, got some of the best music and great cinematography for a hood movie. Great cinematography for a hood movie. And it shows New York at that time. New York is very different now, but you get to capture that essence of what New York used to be like. When I used to go in the summertime, that's how I imagine New York. How it always should be.
I love that you broke it down like that because this is relatable. It's very relatable. I grew up with two brothers that were similar to Bishop and Q, and this is why I was talking about in the intro how your music is and how you're talking about life, and we have two different people on two different spectrums that intertwine daily, just like they did.
Yeah. That's why I think music is music can hit you sometimes. A lot of stuff I talk about is something I couldn't say to some of the people that I'm talking about. Like some of my friends, I couldn't sit down to tell them how I feel, but I can write a song and pretty much talk about our experience, or I could write something that, maybe reflects like, prime example, let's say, which is very true. I had a friend I grew up with in Maine South, a real good friend who passed away when we were young. And you have friends that pass away when you're young. When you're older, it's different. When you're a kid, you have a friend that passes away that you kind of like, build with every day. You go to school, you chase girls with, you even smoke a little reefer with, you do graffiti and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, I think it, sometimes it's just, you can't, in the Black community, we have trouble with, talking about certain things. But for me, I always could write. I could always express my feelings through the pen. I don't know why, but I always could, and that was a gift through Allah. So that's something where I could write and kind of be able to express to my man, like if my man's, that's his brother that passed, I can kind of write something where, a lot of times my music, it stops people. It has, people call me up like, yo, man, I heard you talking. I know you changed some stuff around, but like, that was about, my brother, right? It's like, yeah, that was about, then it gets to like memory lane, and I appreciate it because it creates dialogue that I couldn't create.
Yeah.
I don't make the music and just run to my hood. I kind of make it and let them get it when they get it. And when they do, probably the most rewarding feeling to go back to the South Side, Maine South, and like hear your music in the barber shop or something like that. Because those guys that I grew up with, they meant the world to me. Even the OGs I looked up to who are not here or who behind the wall or changed their life, and I used to look up to those guys. I was down with those cats, and for so long, it was always something else. Like we listened to something else. I wanted to give them something where they can, like, yeah, that's from Maine South. This is Maine South music. I just wanted that to happen. So for me, that was my barometer of success of creating something that could be bigger than Main South. When you got cats in Russia playing, same Main South. Yeah, it's a trip, man. It's a trip. It's a trip.
Yeah. When it comes to growing up the way a lot of us did, and seeing ourselves in media, mainly TV shows and film screen, it's a completely different feeling than the majority of what we see of other cultures growing up. So the fact that the 90s was very pivotal in the increase of seeing us on screen.
In all different facets, and not just the crackhead, not just the dealer, not just the, stop and fetch it. We got to see ourselves as doctors, scientists, police, still criminals, of course, but to see blacks in that spectrum, of course, it's revolutionary, you know what I mean? And you're right, the 90s was that pivot. The 80s, we were still catching up a little bit. We didn't have it until the 90s where you have a show where you could have, matter of fact, like New York Undercover, you have a Latino and an African American, about the two front runners of the show. No Caucasian. These two guys, these two minorities are running the show. You had other shows that had a full black cast. So that was the first time you get to see yourself more than, okay. And the good thing about that is that sometimes people look at, if you're from the hood, you're just a hood kind of guy. We were in the hood reading comic books. We were reading Spider-Man. We were reading. We were doing all kinds of stuff in the hood. We wasn't just in the hood. You know what I mean? Like, I was always reading. I was always into, man, I read some, before comic books became, the cool thing now, quote unquote.
Just like anime.
I remember what happened? I think it was in Do the Right Thing. Brother was reading about Black Panther back then. You know what I'm saying? So, like, comics became something now where it's something in the mainstream. And now, like, blacks, back in the day, you reading a comic and you're a brother, like, what you doing, man? You geek, man? What you doing with that comic, man? Acceptable, because we've seen ourselves in all types of media. There's the black sophisticated man. There's the black not sophisticated man. And to see all these different parallels, I think is beautiful, you know what I mean? Because you can't have clean without dirty. You can't have dirty without clean.
That's right. Got the balance. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All about the balance. Definitely.
Yeah. Mm. Let's go into another visual off the EP. You picked me up. What was that? I'm sorry.
Oh, what you got? You got me and Tree. Like, what you
okay.
Because I'm like, okay, what's up?
Let's go with Rainmaker.
Oh, I don't know if they're ready for that, man. And big up to General Back Pain for coming through. The only feature on this album. And yeah, me and him on that track. Yeah. I always love getting down with Pain and OJ on the track. But yeah. That's whew.
Maintain discipline. I'm not a soldier, Major. The day we took hostages, we became mercenaries. And mercenaries get paid. I want my fucking money!
Yo, beat the tapestry, the majesty connect. Light reflect off the Intertech, aiming at your neck. With the guards, out for one to be supreme. Through the schemes we'll achieve to get the cream. Told the fiend that I changed up. This is how I came up. Selling death, black pipe, watch it flame up. Game fucked up, gotta watch it back in front. Demons always on the hunt, smoking blunts in the hallway. Niggas playing dice, goose down, drinking 40s, and they do it every night. Peace Mike from the brook, that's my older brother's nigga. High top, gold watch, rockin' Tommy Hill. Figure living bigger than the average. Gotta get the cabbage. Knife between my teeth, living like a savage. Lavish the gold, but we started in the dirt. Network with the old, so we got it on the first. Bratwurst is for Jakes, running from another case. North Face, lumberjack plaid, pistol in my waist. Got a taste for the blood. Niggas came up in the mud after school, selling drugs with Jose. That's my cuz. Niggas bug like some insects. Shorty burned the incense. She rubbed me down with alcohol. Life is intense, entrenched in war. The battlefield awaits. Got beef over my head. You know it's high stakes. My state of a killer. Kilo of vanilla. Turn your motherfucking block into thriller. This is iller than you thought. God lace another dot. Bunch of niggas in the park after dark.
Hammers at the Dodge Dart, bricks hard as aardvarks. The coat half gold, bitch. The shirt made of Charizard. Pokemon, nigga. Shopping with a large cart. Red dad hat blower poking out the car hard. Keep reaching though the stars far. Seething like a demon deacon. Keep the freaking bars hard. Charging up my smart card. These big stakes don't get your face tard. Big sticks make a large spark. Late model, just stay cruising through the car park. I'm one of the best and mad clever. My little homie with the lisp say I'm better than Ezra. We fit in the Folger. This a new era, bitch. I ball like Villanova. Uphold all the terror. Moving with the chrome in your apparel. Spring stud, bunch of pheromones out the barrel. If we talking commas, I got several. Don't make me have to pull the bulldog cause it's feral. Let them know, bro. Mash it down the road to the riches. Grabbing most of the spoils, dough and the bitches. The empire, little niggas.
Woo. Yeah, that's I right there. Yeah. Oof.
When this video dropped, I said I gotta go watch Ronin again.
See, yep. Ronin is a classic film that is so underrated. Robert De Niro got so many great films, but Ronin is just I can't even explain that car chase scene.
Yes,
it's all real. You know what I'm saying? It's all real. So like that's real driving. The cameras are right there, and I think Ronin's a sleeper. You know what I mean? So of course you picked it up beautifully. That the whole clip is Ronin, and it just fit perfectly. I can't even. It fit perfectly. You wouldn't got the G's part when Robert's on the joint with the rocket launcher goes right into his part. Like, yeah, it just worked out very beautifully. And here's a funny story about that song. So, OJ named the beat Rainmaker. I said, "Wow, that's a dope name." But we didn't settle on it because I'm still maneuvering, working.
Mm-hmm.
I finish, I get G, we lace the track, and Rainmaker was already the name on it because the beat was the name of that. As we proceeded forward, I was like, OJ, this has to be through Allah. This is once again, this is something here where it's like, OJ, you named it, that's what it's gonna be. Boom. That's some behind the scenes for the folk right there. Sometimes things just come together beautifully. I don't even know. But yeah, Rainmaker is one of my favorite tracks. When we did that, I knew it was like, all right. And then putting the Ronin clip with it, it took me a while because a lot of times people think we just take the clips. We're doing a lot of slow downs and adjusting to the cinema. We're changing the coloring and stuff. So some of that stuff takes time and it takes a little while, but we do a little editing here and there. You can't really tell. It's very subtle, but we do a little adjustments here and there to lace it in our HomeTeam fashion. Because HomeTeam got to put that stamp on it and do it their style. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta let them know. Filmography is not a cut and paste type of thing. There's some art to it, and it's time sensitive, time consuming as well.
Yeah, definitely. When it comes together, it's a work of art, and it feels dope when the music and it hits at a certain level. It's like a good sandwich, you know what I mean? Just all comes together. Hold the mayo.
Yeah, because I've been dabbling now with some of my when my music comes in, whether it be a CD or vinyl, and I record it, and then after that, I go and take pictures of it, and then I tinker around every once in a while,
That's dope.
putting pieces together in transition, and then adding the music, speeding certain parts up, and stuff like that. So I see how, the time put into it, really.
Definitely. Just even the whole presentation of HHDG Media, I think is really dope. How like you guys present this. Like I watched a few videos, interviews and stuff, and I really appreciate how you guys put this together. Like it starts so professional and it looks so professional. I want to say that you guys do a fabulous job. I watched a few of your interviews. I just wanted to say that it's a pleasure to be part of this because I know you guys are definitely from the essence. What I mean by that is where your heart is. You know what I mean? When you do this, and I respect that a whole lot, and I like what you guys do a lot. And
Appreciate
I
that.
like the way you conduct your interviews. You know what I mean? I know Wiki, when we got down again though, I already knew it was gonna be a great time because we A like, B like, C like. So I already knew when we get down, I'm gonna have a good time with this joint right here. You know what I'm saying? Because you're inquisitive, and I always am humbled by your support, your candor, and how you know so much like about the music. Like you really, really listen. Like it be bugging me out. Like, you know what I mean? You really listen, like you digest this. You know what I mean? I be getting on cats like they ain't digested enough, but you definitely do your thing. I'm always humbled by that. That's why I get that out of the way right now. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that. And I think that also comes with growing up listening to radio shows and listening to
I could tell.
interviews. And then
You
also
radio shows. So
Yeah.
you listen to the whole program.
Yeah.
And you're getting the whole feel of everything. Even the way you transition during the interview. Very good stuff. Very good stuff, man. I always look forward to doing these. Seriously. Always.
Appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. Now, again, Nostalgia is available digitally as well as CDs through DITCD. I haven't asked, even though we spoke about them, how did you link up with DITCD?
They hit me up. I think it was DITCD was already. I already knew the brothers, and they're already interested in my music.
Mm-hmm.
They started this whole program of working with underground artists and getting physicals through CDs. We've seen this a lot in the underground before with people trying to do something like this, but never on a scale like this. DITCD has took it to a level where they have become pretty much like the staple for underground music if you want that CD form. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They really are aggressive with it. They hit me up, showed nothing but love. I was a little like at first weary, but they treated the projects with so much care, put them out there. I'm never gonna be mad at someone trying to put money in my pocket, but also beyond that, the fact how they handle the art, how they put it out there, that's very intricate to me. You know what I mean? But we touch base on how's it gonna look, how's this gonna be, and the fact that they're interested and they're involved in it. So definitely shout out to them. That's my physical joint. Right now. You know what I mean? Where anytime someone come out, they get first dibs. It's been nothing but love and respect over there. So have high respect to them. And just to let y'all know, like, definitely check out their catalog. If you're not, you're sleeping. Beyond myself, there is so much over there to absorb and get down with. If you're a true connoisseur and you love your physicals, you definitely got to check out ditcd.com. So much stuff there. But make sure to give it some time, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. And there is their link right there if y'all want to go check out the catalog, as Killy was just mentioning.
Yeah, most of my brothers are on there too. HomeTeam is all over there. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all love, you know what I mean? Any place where my brothers, my family is able to, sit down and stretch their feet. Of course, I got to show love. And they handle a lot of my brothers' projects very well. So that's always dope. And nothing feels like seeing your brothers shine. I mean, that's the best thing. Anyway.
That's the best. Yep.
Always.
Yes, indeed. Also, shout out Dante, who I recently had on here, who was on Heavy Math as well.
Let me tell you about Dante. There's a lot. There's certain artists that have a mark as like, they got that flow. I hold myself to a high regard with that. But Dante, I really, when Dante gets on a track, his flow, his sound, second to none. You know what I mean? Like he's his own entity. And I love working with him and rocking with him. I love the stuff that him and OJ be doing. I just fuck with this stuff, period. Dante's definitely a cat that I think is cats be sleeping on. Because his flow, his lyrical range, it be out there. Another cat like that, beyond my family, is someone like Supreme Cerebral.
Oh yes. I
That's
just
my
interviewed
brother.
him as well.
I peeped that too. Very, very dope interview. Supreme that's my brother. Like, you know, it's bigger than music. With me and him, like, we connect on a high level. So it's like, anytime he need me for anything, I'm right there, and vice versa. So he's someone that, when I actually first came into this shit, he was one of the few that kind of like, you know, extended that arm. You know what I mean? And I'd never forget that. I'm very loyal. I'll never forget that. So Supreme is someone that's my brother right there. You know what I mean? And he's definitely someone that, when it comes to lyrical acumen, need I say more? You know what I'm saying? Like, need I say more? You know what I mean? And of course, to Elo Kush as well. There's a lot of cats on Newville. Yep. There's a lot of cats that you're my family of HomeTeam that I have a lot of respect for. And yeah. The underground's in a very good place right now. Very good place.
Indeed. And I feel that the way the underground scene is right now, you know, the money pot is perfect, you know, with the way technology is too.
Oh yeah,
for them to flourish. There's so many skills in hip hop right now, so many avenues outside of the MCing, the production, the DJing that intertwine with it, and it's just out there. And I know the major labels can't stand it, but
I mean, it's not their time right now either, because I feel like, even though I do feel we live in a very fast food market of music, because there's so much music that comes out from the underground, and sometimes it's hard to differentiate, you know, where to go. And also, there's a different level of politics in the underground, where, like, you know, sometimes it's very political, which I believe any type of music on any level is going to be political. But I will say one thing. As you said, Money Pot is beautiful. And I will say one thing, though. If you make good music, it may take a little time, but it will always get through. That's what I believe. You know, I believe if you make good music, you're going to find your niche, your fan base. As long as you deal with them and cater to them, things will grow. Because I know for myself, when I started out, I never had no expectations, so it was easy. I mean, I was just trying to get some shit off my chest, and maybe hope, like, when I get back home, they may put that in the whip or something. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So to see it transform and my brother's stuff transform, that was good. You know, you got people. I definitely would say this though. It took overseas, and then it took Worcester to start acknowledging. You know what I mean? It was somewhere else first. Then home started, you know, writing articles about me and doing stuff like that. But I think it was overseas first. Then it became home that really picked it up. But the money part is good right now. I mean, shit. There's so many avenues within this if you want to look for profit. But there's also so many avenues if you are just an artist and you want to create, you know. So I think that is a special time. We are like a second renaissance of this shit. And I'm just happy to be a part of it, you know.
Definitely agree. Man. So as always, I have to ask, being that we're just talking about so many avenues.
Yeah.
Any Killy shows coming up?
I would say soon, but that's probably, I would say nothing on the table yet. There is something locally I may be looking into, some stuff like that. We are right now just working on videos. I'm kind of in a big creative mood. I told myself this year I want to get a lot off my chest musically and get some more workout. So that's kind of my focus right now. When that's all done, probably the shows and, you know, stuff to catalog with that. But right now I'm really in a writing mode and really in a creative mode and kind of getting this music out to a point where I can just chill, because I think that for me, I got a lot of fans like overseas that really hold the music, and I talk to them, we communicate all the time and stuff. And I think right now I'm trying to hone in and like really just, you know what? There's a base maybe somewhere in Brazil that's playing this all the time, like that really like, you know, they really mess with this. So I think I'm trying to like open my mind to realize like it's bigger than Worcester, bigger than United States and stuff like that. But right now, nothing definite.
Mhm.
Always follow my page, my social media. You may see something pop off. So but right now, nothing definite. Just working on lots of music, building my brothers, and finishing up a project right now with Chuck Chan.
There you go. Chuck
So,
Chan.
yeah, always in the lab with my brothers. Me and Chuck have been trying to work together. Not trying to, but working on this project for a little bit now. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah, I'm just steady building. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to build. My man GBP said it best. General Backpain. He was like, "These are all legacy moves," and basically, I'm chasing goals. Like the guys that I consider that I looked up to or I'm competing against, they're on the wall. You know what I mean? They're these are the guys that stay in my mind. Like when I'm going against, I don't really, you know, I'm thinking to catch like great storytellers. Like if it's someone like Master Ace, or if it's someone like Slick Rick, or if it's like Big Ghost. Like, don't get me wrong, I look to those guys so much, but then also, I don't just want to be. I want to be part of that. I want to be able to stretch my feet at that table and bring my own to it. So I definitely, when you first started this interview, that probably meant the most to me because storytelling and rap is kind of, you know, up and down a little bit. And one thing I always thought that I kind of brought to the table was articulated street life on a high level from many different viewpoints. You know, there's some times where I think I can articulate the fear of walking into an alleyway doing your first deal and how that may turn out. A lot of times we just talk about the braggadocious of like, I shot this nigga and bang, bang. What about the trepidation of going to a new neighborhood, trying to get some weight off? So I try to give more of a blue collar street mentality of like what I felt when I was in the life, or you know what I seen or while I was around. I wasn't always you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger in the streets, so it was like I'm a real human being. And there's other things affect you if you have children or things come into play where you're worried now about, I hope this turns out right. And I try to articulate myself sometimes through stories. Like, prime example, Beyond the Looking Glass. Beyond the Looking Glass, if you take the words for what it means, it's like kind of like beyond what you see. Then the story goes into, you know, someone, you know, a drug dealer who was a king who was like, you know, running the block, and then things happened, they killed someone, and it just goes through a web, a weave of this dude's life, you know what I mean? I think it ended where, you know, 5th floor, Black Sean 5B. So you get to kind of get a reference to like, oh, damn, this dude he was on the 5th floor, you know, he was right. So I try to always relate back to certain things, and I think sometimes with the stories, of course, I may have to change little things around because my niggas be like, what the fuck did you see? You know, so I have to switch a little bit here and there, but those are the most fun writing because a lot of times I could just close my eyes and just get right to it. You know what I mean? Just think back to that and get to that. But yeah, that aspect means a lot to me. So thank you again for that.
Appreciate it. And the horns on that track.
OJ, yeah, he. Yeah, that joint right there. Oh my! When I heard that, I was like, OJ, you know, what do you want me to do here? You know what I mean? He's feeding me so good. You know what I'm saying? So when I heard that joint, I was like, and the thing about that, I love the music that we make because it's an acquired taste. It's something that you have to have a refined palate for. You know, I feel like if you love the golden age, you love hip hop, you could definitely relate. If you love the idea of hip hop, it may be a little difficult. Now, if you understand my word very clearly, if you love hip hop, the golden age, if you love the idea of hip hop, see, that's where it kind of differentiates. But I will say this though. I don't care if you start listening to my music from yesterday, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. As long as you're listening, I'm always thankful for. So if someone just pick up right now and be like, yo, Kill, I just heard this joint. I just started. Thank you. Thank you. As long as you listen, that's all I care about.
There it is. You know, you just mentioned, I think probably one of the most important things with music is the listeners.
Oh, of course.
And them hearing your music. And then the next aspect of that, which is the greatest part of it, is them telling you that.
I mean, I look at it's humbling. I just look at it like, yo, if the listeners are so important, the people that listen, I think we live in a society sometimes where negativity breeds conversation. So sometimes when we see negativity, we react to that.
Mm-hmm.
Not me really, because my father taught me discipline. I like to react to the love. You know what I'm saying? Like, if someone takes time out to send me something like, yo, I thought this about this track, let's conversate about it. I'm a human, you know, I'm tangible. You know, we can communicate. I'm not up here, I'm not down there. I'm right here with you. So let's communicate about this and, you know, build. And it's always humbling when you got people that actually listen or relate to them. Or if it connects to them on a higher level, you know what I'm saying? That always is humbling, and you definitely can feel it. I think when we try to ignore those things, not realize that the listener, like, they're the most valuable piece of this puzzle. Like, their ears, their reception, their word of mouth, they're more than consumers. You know what I mean? It's deeper than that. Hip hop, we created art here.
Yes.
We're not selling pillowcases or something like that for commerce. You know what I mean? We're making it art here. So when you're making art, it is subjective and it is decisive, but you can't treat it like it's a bag of Frito-Lay. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's something that's paramount. It's something that's it means something to some at least. But yeah, you know, it's always humbling and it's dope to hear. You know what I mean? I think that I've been fortunate enough with a good base that just fuck with me. You know, I can just talk about certain things, do certain things, and they just fuck with me. And I feel like they just want to see me shine and do more and create what I create. I think they never really want me to stray from my path. Like, I feel like you can always count on Killy to bring you that Killy shit. That's it. And that's what I try to do for them as much as possible. Never stray from the path.
There you go. The product is always guaranteed.
Definitely, my brother. Definitely.
Definitely appreciate that. Now, you mentioned also Chuck Chan, who just dropped a dope album with, you know, my fellow Staten Islander, Squeegee Oblong.
Yeah.
What else is going on with the HomeTeam empire?
Well, okay, I'll say this. I don't want to say too much, but we are working on the collective master album with all of us. Production from all the producers, Prophecy, OJ, Chuck. It's a big project, you know. We're really working on that right now. We've been in a dungeon with that for a little bit. Like, it's taking some time, but perfection takes a little time. You know what I'm saying? So
It does, yeah.
That's the biggest thing for us, is trying to create this collective thing on a high level. So I think I'm loving it because, you know, I get to, you know, be around my brothers, and like, I don't think people understand with HomeTeam, like, we fans of each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm fans of these dudes. Like, before we even got down, I was listening to these dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I fuck with these dudes. So, you know, when I get to hear Lupus, Pain, Deuce, Rock Through on a track, Chucky, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I get to hear that, it's just, it gets me hype and going. And, you know, I'm definitely happy about what we got so far. We just got to finish some things up, but that's the thing the team's working on right now. My project with Chucky. G's always working. You know, G's always working on something. And, yeah, I'm not going to let too much out right now because this is our year, and I feel like we got a lot of stuff under wraps. We're trying just to be like, you know what? You know, we're on that REM right now. That's us in the corner, you know, in the spotlight. You know, we're losing our religion. I mean, that's where we are right now. You know what I mean? We just chilling. We're about to drop a bomb, but yeah, the HomeTeam project is probably the biggest thing collectively that we're working on right now to bring to the table, and I'm really looking forward to that. Everybody got their hands in that real deep pause, so we definitely that's something I really want to get together and have our collective piece.
Yeah,
To get that. We haven't done that yet, so we're definitely looking forward to that. That's what the fans want, so we definitely got to appease the fans.
that's great news for me to hear, because I've definitely asked a few times in previous.
Yeah, I know. I see you, brother. I see you. That's why I was like, you know what? You gotta make sure to get this shot. But yeah, for the good folks like yourself, you know what I mean? We definitely want to make sure you guys get that at the highest level. So we're definitely looking forward to that. Real talk. Real talk.
That's what's up. That's dope. Now, before you let the people know where to reach out and speak to you, support nostalgia. I have one last question, because when you brought up your top films, you mentioned 2001: Space Odyssey, Stanley Kubrick. One of my favorite films by him is A Clockwork Orange.
Whew.
And the first time I watched
hit the milk bar right now. You know what I'm saying? So
the
Clockwork
first time,
Orange, that movie is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Yo, real talk. Yeah.
The first time I watched it, one thing that stuck out to me was relation to growing up in the hood of mind control. What they put in, products they put out there to mess with our physical, our mental. And then just from there, everything else that they continue to do in the movie, and then put him back into society. That was mind blowing.
That movie, I mean, beyond Stanley is a great director. I always thought Clockwork Orange. My pops loves that movie. He always loved that movie. I love it myself. I always thought with Clockwork Orange, this dystopian world, I've always been fascinated by that. And you said something very critical there, the fact that they put him back.
Mm-hmm.
After they did, the whole brain stuff to him, and they pour in the drops and him like that. What do you have a case that they call it? The ultra violence? That's what they said he had. Ultra violence.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I thought it was brilliant how they put him back. And the way you referenced that, see, that's how I know you're a film buff. To find that correlation, you know what I mean? And talk about being from the hood and how mind control is, and how people don't understand that when you grow up in the hood, like, there is a sense of mind control. You know what I mean? There's a sense of how you view things, how, prime example, I'm going to give you just something real small. In Worcester, one of the largest housing projects is called Great Brook Valley. Where is it located? At the far, far, far end of the city. You see what I'm saying? Where's it located around? There's grocery stores and stuff around there, but they want to keep you over there.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want you coming to downtown. So you can already see, and we can even go deeper into how cities are developed, the zoning, where, so that's on a whole nother level. But yeah, we definitely see the gist of that. But Clockwork Orange, I'm surprised, brother. That's a very, matter of fact, you asked me this before we stepped. Clockwork Orange, name me 2 more joints that are vital to you, matter of fact, because you're intriguing me now. Because Clockwork, I was surprised you said that right there.
Let me see. I'm trying to think of the name of the movie. It had Kevin Bacon in it.
Footloose.
No, it wasn't Footloose.
My bad, I'm saying,
What was it? Sleepers?
Wait. Are you talking about Sleepers? The one from with Brad Pitt?
Yes. That's the one.
Yes. Oh man. Whoo! Yo, so you talking to the movie kid right here. I know all that joint right there. When you said Sleep, I was like, okay, that's Brad Pitt, it's Kevin. I'm not gonna go into detail, but those boys went through hell. But they got their revenge, yo.
Mm-hmm.
That's the movie, right? Sleep?
Yep, that's the one.
Wow. Yep. So you got some very good taste, I thought you might say something like, just more. We both have very peculiar taste, though. I have to say, like, you have a very high taste. But I hear someone say Clockwork, for the sleepers. All right, one more, my brother. One more. It doesn't have to be your favorite, but just on that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I got to go with Legendary Weapons of China, old Shaw Brothers film.
Shaw joints, yo. The Shaw joints. I thought you were gonna say, you know what's funny? Mine is I don't know if it's a Shaw joint. Right when you said that, I was thinking of Crippled Avengers.
Oh, that's another good one. Mm-hmm.
That's how when you go in that route. See, I didn't. You know what? You have very good taste, my brother. You have very good taste. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know.
The fact that you brought that up, and I'm not the type of person to tell a story, but I'm gonna send you that link of that new movie I'm talking about because there's something in there.
What?
You'll see it.
All right, man.
For that movie.
Send that link. Don't forget me, brother. Send that link. I'm gonna have to watch that very soon because you got me very intrigued. Just for your taste alone, I'm like, all right, this ain't no goofy. He got some high taste on movies right here. So I'm trusting your word, brother. I'm trusting your word. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you soon. Definitely.
Right.
Killy shoot, repping the war, repping HomeTeam. The EP Nostalgia is out. Definitely go out and support that. And I'm gonna put the link up again. Floor is yours. Give you shout outs and let everyone know where they can go and reach out to you as well.
You can just reach me on the Bandcamp. You can reach me on Instagram, Killy Shoot, Twitter, Killy Shoot. Just type in Killy Space Shoot. I'm sure it's not difficult to find. You can reach me on Spotify, all the digital downloads, all that stuff. Shout outs. I want to give a shout out to my family, my HomeTeam family, all my brothers, G, Chuck, Lupus, P, Annie, OJ, my extended family. You know what I mean? Everybody that's ever gave an ear, much respect. Gotta say shout outs to Newville. Gotta say shout outs to Supreme Cerebral. Gotta say shout outs to Kush. Gotta say shout out to ST Knack from Massachusetts. Lynn, the city of sin. That good brother where the light he's bringing to Massachusetts is significant, and you know he shouted me out, and I gotta definitely return the favor because he's someone that I've been to Lynn many a times. Like I'm from Massachusetts, I've been to Lynn. I know what that city's about, and he's repping it very well. I'll say that. I will say that. Real tough. So I know there's probably a few people I'm missing here, but know that that's all my fam. So all my fam, all my extended fam. Anybody I forget, you know, I fuck with y'all all day. It's just that right now, you know, I had a great convo. And before I was drinking all this water, I did have an old fashioned to drink. So excuse me if I'm missing anybody or anything like that. So my brothers, everybody that rock with me, everybody that fuck with me, my extended family, all my extended family, much love. And Wiki, thank you for having me on and for reaching out to me. And beyond the dope interview, thank you for a dope conversation, my brother. Real talk.
I appreciate that. That's what I try and provide. I don't like the whole format of an interview. Yeah. I like to have a conversation. So I definitely appreciate that.
I really appreciate that because it just sets the vibe so well. I've done a lot of interviews, and I just love this kind of vibe, man. It's a real good vibe. And you're so studious, man. Like, you know so much about the music. You got me feeling like, you know, I'm 10 feet tall or something like that. So thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate what you guys do. HHDG Media, very serious business. Thank you.
Appreciate it. And on that note, HHDG Media, gonna say peace.